Cited as the worst environmental disaster in Colorado history, the Summitville open pit cyanide heap leach gold mine operated 11,500 feet high in the San Juan Mountains, 40 miles west of the city of Alamosa. Mining the steep slopes of the mountain was said to invite disaster. Snowfalls up to 30 feet a season trigger of avalanches and landslides. Heavy snowmelts leach massive metallic acid drainage from the mine. Cyanide heap leach mining is used to extract small quantities of gold from large quantities of low-grade ore, disregarding the consequences to all life forms and the environment. A teaspoon of 2% cyanide can kill a person. High cyanide concentrations are toxic to soil microorganisms. The metal mining industry successfully created loopholes in the Clean Water Act, excluding themselves from oversight, leaving industry free to release toxins into the waterways without accountability. Downstream, ranchers depend on the Alamosa River watershed to water thousands of cattle and sheep. Farmers irrigate 45,000 acres of croplands. By 1990, there was a reported complete kill-off of all aquatic life along the 17-mile stretch of the Alamosa River. Following years of acidic, cyanide-laced heavy metal runoff from the Summitville mine, a neighbor reported in 1993, "The fish were all belly up, rainbow trout and German browns, all dead, every living thing in the river. It was sickening." As with more than 20,000 abandoned mines in the West, taxpayers were forced to foot the bill after operations declared bankruptcy and abandoned the mine in 1992. In 1994, Summitville became an EPA Superfund site requiring perpetual cleanup. The Summitville fiasco raises grave questions about short-term gains sought by private enterprises at the expense of long-term losses for communities and the environment. Family physician and sheep rancher Dr. Colin Henderson, who lives downstream from the Summitville mine, led neighbors to organize the Alliance for Responsible Mining.
Colorado has a long history of mining, and but we happened to form out of the Alliance for Responsible Mining, formed from a group of people who live downstream from open pit cyanide gold mines. That's a process where they basically excavate a whole sides of mountains and crush the rock. There's a very low level of gold in it, crush it very fine, and then sprinkle cyanide on top and leach out this very small amount of gold. And the unfortunate part of it is that the type of mining is so vast and often happens where there's something happens called acid mine drainage. There's a chemical bacterial process that happens with the rock once it's all been crushed up. It used to be all kept, safely underground. Now it's all exposed. It's got the cyanide in it, and they put it in these large holding pools, all this waste, but unfortunately they break and they go down the river, and that's what happened in the river that feeds irrigation water to my community, the Alamosa River. And so that river literally was devoid of any life until they're starting to come back, because they have permanent treatment facilities at the headwaters of the Alamosa now. But at that time, we saw this was happening in our community. Folks in San Luis, Colorado had Battle Mountain Gold with a plume of this polluted water headed towards their drinking water supply. Cripple Creek, they've got a restoration plan where they're going to literally puncture their liners. That's their ultimate end game plan. So we were just disturbed. We didn't want this to happen to other communities. We felt we had a moral responsibility to act and do something to make sure no other counties had to suffer in the way that we did. We took a series of political actions. The first thing we did was we tried to imitate what they did in Montana, where they passed a statewide initiative to ban all open pit cyanide gold mines. We ultimately failed. We weren't really big enough to take on a statewide initiative. And so what we did after that was we ran two different bills, 2 different years. We ran bills in the state legislature. And we had a total of, I believe, 14 counties that signed on. The county commissioners voted to endorse this ban on any new open pit cyanide gold mines. We had 40 organizations across the state endorsing us. So we did a lot of grassroots work. We hired lobbyists. We did all the things you're supposed to do. And we caused a big stir, and we got them very upset. But they really seemed like they controlled the process up there in Denver. The big Anglo Gold, Colorado Mining Association have an immense power in Denver. It's incredible. They sent it to the State and Military Affairs Committee, which had nothing to do with mining. And as my friend Alan Miller, who was on our board at that time, he's a 5th generation farmer in the San Luis Valley, held up in one hand, he said, you have gold, and on the other hand, you have bread, and we have to be able to eat. And the people on the panel, they were asleep. Some of them were like dozing off, and they just weren't there. It was quite amazing. It was quite phenomenal. The last big effort, so after we got all those endorsements from the counties, what we found was that we had a natural audience with local folks, whether they be Republican or Democratic county commissioners. They responded, they listened, they saw what we went through. We went and we decided, well, we can't approach the power of the mining industry at the state level. We'll go county by county, and we won in Conejos County, and we won in Gunnison County, and we won in Castilla County, and we won in Gilpin County, and then we won in Summit County, which was this huge battle, and we had door-to-door canvassers, and we went full on. This was grassroots organizing, and we beat them 3-0. We passed the ban, at which point the mining industry sued Summit County, who had never lost a land use issue lawsuit in their whole history of it being a county. They were confident they were going to win. They looked at the laws. They really felt like the state law supported their ability to ban open pit cyanide gold mining. Just that one specific kind of, not all mining. We weren't even against all mining, but this bad actor. And so the Colorado Mining Association, enjoined by the state of Colorado, which decided to side with the big industry, not the people, took us on, and we won it. We lost at the district court. We won at the Colorado Court of Appeals. We just knew we were going to win at the Supreme Court, but we lost. So it was very heartbreaking when we felt like after that we had tried every political possible route that we could. And we did polling that showed 66% of Coloradans would support this, either definitely or probably, when we did independent polling, and we still were not able to persevere. We're preempted by state law and an appointed body, and we're the poster child for having tried and not feeling there was a way for us to have an impact. So we're very excited about this initiative and want to see it go forward, and anything that we can do to help, we'd love to.
10 years of hard work by the Alliance for Responsible Mining to protect the environment against future Summitville mine disasters were brought to a halt. Current state law, observes Dr. Henderson, ties the hands of local efforts to protect communities and water sources. The Colorado Community Rights Amendment would reinforce community rights to democratic self-government in counties and municipalities to protect their health, safety, and welfare without being subject to nullification or preemption by federal, state, or international law, so long as local laws do not restrict or weaken existing fundamental rights or legal protections for natural persons. As stated in the Colorado Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, all political power is vested in and derived from the people. All government of right originates from the people, is founded upon their will only, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. For more information about the initiative, see coloradans for community rights.org.